put your hands in the air.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. We are from Group 5. We present about Malaysia currency depreciation during pandemic COVID-19. Our group members. First, Muhammad AMMAR bin Muhammad RAZALI. Second, Muhammad HAKIMI bin SALIMAN. Third, me, RUQAYYAH binti Yaakob. Next, NOOR SYAHIRAH binti NOOR AZHAR. And Muhammad AZRIQ bin AZMI.
Hi, my name is AZRIQ and AZMI, and now I want to start with the introduction for our presentation. Every country in this world has their own currency that can be used as a medium of exchange, store of value, and unit of account, money in the form of paper or coins. One of the primary mediums of exchange that replace bartering method for trade goods and service. Malaysia currency is called Malaysian ringgit and its code is MYR. Value of money also can fall and it is called currency depreciation. A reduction in the value of a currency in terms of its exchange rate versus other currencies is known as currency depreciation. Currency depreciation in Malaysia started in 2014 and in June 2015, it started to depreciate for 4 weeks in a row. This problem still happens in our country, especially in the year 2020 because of pandemic COVID-19. Countries that are affected with this pandemic or the virus make the economy declining since many industries need to close because of quarantine procedures to control this outbreak. Our country or our government implemented a movement control order (MCO) to contain the virus that makes many industries unable to operate at this time, not including exception industries like grocery stores. Malaysia currency rate for $1 in March 2019 was 4 ringgit 8 cents and it has since declined to 4 ringgit 26 cents in July 2020 during the pandemic.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is RUQAYYAH binti Yaakob and I will talk about the positive and negative impact of Malaysian currency depreciation during pandemic COVID-19. Okay, let's take a look at the sign that COVID-19 is having a negative impact on the country's economy. First, high unemployment. In 2019, Malaysia unemployment rate is 3.3%. Meanwhile, on 10 May 2020, the unemployment rate was 5.3%, an increase of 3.2 percentage points since January 2020. When the rate was 3.2%, this is a bad thing because there is a decrease in the demand for workers. Second, the decline in the value of Malaysian ringgit against the US dollar from an average of 4 ringgit 10 cents to 4 ringgit 35 cents per US dollar. The Malaysian currency depreciated by 6.1% in this depreciation. An analysis of the ringgit's devaluation over the last 5 years show a 25% drop in value. Aside from that, investors who are fleeing the current volatile market are likely to have a significant impact on the value of the ringgit in Malaysia as a result of COVID-19. Fears of the pandemic impact on the stock market have sparked panic selling among investors. On the other hand, COVID-19 has a positive impact on glove manufacturing stocks, with Top Glove, the world's largest glove manufacturer, seeing a 30% increase in stock value. This had led to an increase in currency. To be honest with you, the government will spend in other areas like healthcare because of COVID-19, like the facilities and swab tests for Malaysian people. This will lead to an increase in pupils' money. Then, another positive impact is to avoid a financial meltdown. Malaysia devised a series of countermeasures, 3 stimulus packages totaling 10 billion, 20 billion and 230 billion in order to counterattack the negative effects of COVID-19 on the economy. Each of these serve a specific purpose by providing wage subsidies, discount on commercial and domestic electricity consumption. Lastly, we can clearly see that Malaysia currency depreciation during pandemic COVID-19 have advantage and disadvantage.
Hello, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So my name is Muhammad HAKIMI bin SALIMAN. I'm from MBA 1113F. So today I will talk about contribution during Malaysia currency depreciation. Malaysia currency depreciation during the pandemic has contributed to all people and the employment sector. The relative level of economic health, on the other hand, can determine the foreign exchange rate. This is because the foreign exchange rate is so important to a country trading level. Firstly, currency depreciation have led the purchasing power of Malaysian ringgit is harmed by a weakening currency because more Malaysian ringgit is required to exchange for US dollar. This means that Malaysian living standards are falling as a result of lower purchasing power. Next is small and medium-sized enterprise or SME and organization will not be profitable. It is because of the low demand for goods and services in the market. As we know that consumer spending is totally important in an economy because it can determine economic health. If consumer or customer do not spend their money in the market, the cash flow will become less fluid. Lastly, the financial aid by the government like Penjana and Pemulih will help Malaysian citizens and businesses during the COVID-19 pandemic and especially after the enforce of lockdown. It surely will help Malaysia in overcoming the economic slump.
The spreading of COVID-19 is considered as unique situation or event that could affect the economy. When the economy affected, the currency value will likely to drop too during the pandemic. In this part, we will learn about some factors causing the Malaysian currency to depreciate during the COVID-19 pandemic. The first factor is the increased demand in safe haven currencies such as US dollar due to the investors chose to be careful from dealing with Malaysia ringgit. The sharp increase of the coronavirus cases in Malaysia pushed away most of the investors from investing with Malaysian currency. Other than that, the fall of crude oil prices also causing the Malaysian currency value to drop. Historically, the ringgit moves in tandem with crude oil prices. So in general, lower crude oil prices are associated with a weaker ringgit. During the pandemic, crude oil prices were set for their worst weekly drubbing since the 2008 financial crisis, as investors were concerned about dwindling demand due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Last but not least, the depreciation of Malaysian currency is also caused by the instability of Malaysia's politics. As a country loses more of its stability in politics, the more economic stagnation they will experience. Because of foreigners own about 40% of Malaysia's sovereign debt, investors' perception is important. As a result of pandemic and political unrest, foreign money has been streaming out of the country, delaying economic planning and stalling attempts at tax reform.
Hello, my name is SYAHIRAH binti AZHAR. Today I will present about solution for currency depreciation during the pandemic COVID-19 at Malaysia. Solution number 1 is bank can raise interest rate. An increase in interest rates can maintain the spread of domestic and international interest rate. The main goal is to encourage investment flow, thus helping to establish and increase the value of the domestic currency. Apart from raise interest rate, central bank may also adopt adapting monetary policy in a response to currency depreciation. Next solution to increase trade balance and the rate of export of a good to foreign country. Therefore, they will be using the domestic currency. In conclusion, the domestic currency will risk against the currency of the trading partner. Control of capital outflow also have increased the currency. The government should restrict the exchange of domestic currency and impose greater control on capital flight. Such a control could prevent the mass production and sale of domestic currency.
The last solution is that the finance minister can give consumption voucher to the citizen instead of giving them cash. The main objective of this consumption voucher is to revive the currency depreciation during the COVID-19 pandemic by encouraging consumer spending on locally produced goods and services, and ultimately can reduce imported product. Consumer spending is totally important in an economy because it can determine economic health. Thus, providing of voucher consumption can boost consumer spending on local product and service. In conclusion, cash flow in the market will become fluent if there are demand and supply in the market, and it will help Malaysia in overcoming currency depression during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Hi, my name is AZRIQ and AZMI, and for the conclusion, currency is important to make sure our economy is balanced and make people have the purchasing power to buy goods and service so that the cash flow become fluid due to people spending their money in any market. The suggestion to solve this problem by reducing the inflation is meant to make an increase in the competitiveness of export. Export duties collected can be utilized to boost national income and improve the country. From export, so we can attract investors, since foreign investment allows large amount of cash and knowledge to be poured into the factories of local business. We hope the government can take action quickly to solve depreciation in our currency to ensure our nation can compete in the economic aspect with other developed countries in this world, and our community can have a better life and every person have financial stability so that we can keep surviving in this challenging world nowadays. So that's all from us. Thank you for listening.